In this video, I'm going to show you how you can pass contextual information from your own website or community platform into MindPal AI agent and workflow embeds. Now, if you're creating and sharing AI agents and multi-agent workflows for your audience or community or clients inside your own website or on a community platform like WordPress, Kajabi, Teachable, and more, chances are you would want the chatbot to know some information from your user that is already stored inside your website or platform, right? Things like the username, their company, their profile, etc. Things that the AI should not have to ask the user over and over again. For example, on MindPal, we have an AI customer support chatbot called MindPal Friend that you have probably have interacted with. Now, out of the box, this can do the job pretty well, answering questions, escalating important or sensitive queries to humans, and so much more. But there's a problem. If I have published this chatbot here and embedded inside my own website, let me copy this embed code and paste it in this MindPal embed playground. This is how it looks. Now, I can ask this agent to do anything, and one of the things I can do with it is to report issues and bugs about MindPal. The chatbot said you should share a clear description, the screenshot, workflow ID or workflow URL or agent ID, as well as the email address. This is okay, but not really optimal and user-friendly, because when the user sign in on my app, we actually already know the email address of the user, their name, and we can even detect which AI agent or workflow they are working on. So to make this chatbot experience much more seamless for the user, it would be great if the MindPal app can share this information with this MindPal Friend chatbot, right? Here's the good news. We just introduced something called custom section context for published agents and workflows that does exactly this. Think of it as a way for your website to brief about your user to the MindPal chatbot and workflow embeds in the background. So you can share any information about the user, be it their name, their company, their email address, their industry, their demands and needs, and so much more with the AI chatbot silently before the user even starts the chat section. This would make the whole experience much more personalized for your users, as well as much more intuitive and convenient too, because your users wouldn't have to repeat information that you obviously already know. So how you can enable this feature? First of all, you would need to go to the settings of the AI agent or AI workflow that you would like to turn this feature on. I want to enable this feature for this chatbot, so I'm gonna go here, scroll to the advanced section where I can turn on this feature, enabled custom section context here. Let me turn this on, and here you can specify what exact custom section context the AI could expect from your website. In this case, my AI chatbot usually has to deal with bug reports, and we would need information like user email address, agent ID, or workflow ID they are working on, as well as username. This is not very important, but it would help personalize the chatbot responses. Now, once you have done this, you can save the chatbot and review the updated sharing and embedding instructions on how to pass this data. Okay, let me go to the publish model again. And this is the updated sharing instructions, as you can see here. Because there are currently 3 ways you can share your chatbot with others, namely shareable link, iframe embed, and chat bubble widget embed, you can pass this custom section context in 3 ways too. First, for shareable link, you can pass the context in the form of carry parameters, as you can see in this link. So this is a link with some placeholders that you would need to replace with the actual values. Second is iframe code. This code now contains placeholders as well. And this is the code for chat bubble widget. The exact code would depend on each chatbot and your settings, so make sure you check the specific share instructions for each chatbot on how exactly to do this. When you put this embed code inside your own website or your community platform, you would want to replace all of these highlighted variables here with the actual values you can capture from your main website or the platform you are using. If you want a deep dive into how you can share this data for each platform, make sure you check our documentation guide, which I will link in the video description here. We have a dedicated section on platform-specific instructions that you may want to take a closer look. For now, I'm gonna skip the technical part and just dive into how the chatbot would behave differently when it receives such custom section context compared to the previous version. I'm gonna copy this iframe embed code here. Before doing that, let me customize this embed code a little bit to replace all of these placeholders with actual values so the responses of the chatbot could be more meaningful. So I'm gonna click on the customize button here and use static values and provide the values here. This would immediately update the code for me to use. So let's say the user email address could be sylvia@example.com. Agent ID is ABC123XYZ. We can leave workflow ID as blank and the username is Sylvia. Let me just put the workflow ID as, and I copy this and paste to my embed playground. Okay, this is how it looks like. Because the custom section context process happens completely in background, you wouldn't see any difference in terms of the visual experience. But if you start chatting with the chatbot, you will start noticing the difference. For example, I'm going to ask the same question as before. I want to report bugs, and this is the chatbot instructions. Please give me a clear description, a screenshot, the workflow, and the agent ID. But as you can see, because I already passed ABC123XYZ as the agent ID, it said that it already got this agent ID, just need my confirmation. And it also have my email address here, so I don't have to mention it again. All I need to do now is to describe the problem. For example, my agent keeps spinning, no response. This is obviously makeup bug, but let's use it for demo purposes and let's see. Okay, now that the chatbot has got all information it needs, it has sent an email alert to our technical support team with all of the details using the email address that it already knows. And now my technical support team can jump in, debug this issue, and get back to this customer using this email address. Much more seamless, right? And the best part is this custom section context feature works for both AI chatbots and AI workflows. The example I'm using to demonstrate for you so far is an AI chatbot, a conversational experience. But if you have created a multi-agent workflow on MindPal and embedded as interactive form on your website, you can also enable this feature. For example, I have this website copywriting, storytelling, and SEO analysis workflow right here that I want to share with my audience. This workflow is pretty straightforward. Given a website URL, it will analyze the website across different aspects using different specialist agents, as you can see here, and then create a final actionable report. Now, usually, I would need to add a human input step before these two AI steps to ask for the website URL from the customer first. But because we have this custom section context feature, I don't really have to do so. What I can do instead is go to the customize appearance and settings of this workflow right here. Go to advanced, similar to what I did with the chatbot, enable custom section context, and define company website as custom section context field that AI workflow can expect here. Now, let's update this change and copy the embed code. As you can see, the embed code has been updated with my company website as placeholder here. Of course, when you embed this workflow on your own website, you would want to replace this placeholder with the actual company website of each user that you can extract from your own system. But for now, let's just use static value, something like MindPal.space. Copy the code and let's try this out. Okay, this is how the embedded workflow looks like. As you can see, no human input needed. User can just go in and start workflow right away. And this is where the magic happens. First of all, my agent here will analyze different aspects of the website. Notice that I haven't mentioned MindPal.space at all to this workflow, yet it is still able to detect that my company website is MindPal.space and checking this website before providing the analysis here. And this custom section context would be loaded to every single AI agent in this multi-agent workflow process. So rest assured that all your AI agents in every step of the way will have all of this contextual information about your user in order to provide the best responses. Now imagine the possibilities. If you are building sales assistant for your e-commerce store, you can provide the information about which product a visitor is interested in, so the chatbot can personalize its consultation. If you are building course-specific tutor for your academy, you can always pass the information about that student, their learning progress, as well as the courses they are currently in to provide personalized advice and support for each student. If you are building a suite AI consultation tools for business owners, you can provide information about that business, like their website, their industry, their products, and more beforehand, so that the AI will always take into consideration such information when it talks to your users. So make sure you go ahead to MindPal.io and try this out. If you have any questions about this feature at all, feel free to drop them inside the comment section or join our Facebook community to discuss directly with me and my co-founder. Thanks for watching, and I hope that this feature will elevate the user experience for your published AI agents and workflows. See you next time.